I think is 100% official. They want to destroy whatever the old iteration of the banks is. There's no way around it at this point. Look at the new rules they just made. Now, this new article is titled something like banks will finally have to compete for customers or for your money, something like that. Listen, there's no way they expect banks to be able to do that. Pull that off. There's no way. They would have to take such a loss. It would be incredible. I'm going to tell you why, but let's read this first and then I'm going to share my thoughts, right? It says here, wait. Let me scroll up. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. The new rules mean that banks for the first time ever will have to meaningfully compete for customers. They can't. Do you know who they're competing against? NBFIs, fintechs? Oh, and they address, here's the interesting part. You may think, oh, Mick, that's just your thoughts. They literally address fintechs in here because that's their main competition. When you talk about non-banking financial institutions, don't get me wrong. They can't even compete against the legacy system, non-banking financial institutions. The long-time ones that have been there for a while, they can't even compete against them, let alone fintechs and what fintechs offer. I told you, we're so far in advance. We're so dominant that we're constantly on their mind. This is why they're forcing this breakdown, this collapse of the legacy financial system to speed up the congealing of the old financial system, whatever's left of it, with the new financial system. It's clear as day, but let's keep going. Listen to this. It says here, so they'll have to meaningfully compete for customers, a fact that could force financial institutions to innovate. We've been hearing a lot of that lately, but what is the correlation between, what's the correlation they're trying to draw here? Is that between the old system taking on all the features of the new system? Did you watch that last members only video? Taking on all the features of the new system. DLT technology. Wait. So they already just told on themselves. Force institutions to innovate and improve their offerings. I've been talking about this for a long time. You think they're not going to go nuts with smart contract deployments, staking, delegation, lending? They're going to listen. If let's say right now with lending, right? We'll get to that a little later, but any type of annual percentage yield or any type of yield, let's say it's 8%. Let's say it's 8%. The bank could take 4%. That's delicious to them. Take 4%. They're not going to tell the customer that. The customer get 4%. Let's say it's off of delegation or staking or something like that. 8% total. Bank takes 4%. They're not telling the customer that. The customer is getting a deal of 4%. Now, to the customer, that's delicious. You see, this is why they want the new financial system. One reason. Why it's so delicious. So to the customer, they're getting 4% and they're comparing that with their savings accounts, right? Or anything else for that matter. But let's take savings account as an example. What's the average annual percentage yield right now on a savings account? Can you tell me that? I think it's something. I'm going to pull it up right now. So as of 2024, the average annual percentage yield on savings accounts in the USA as of October 2024 is between 0.45% and 0.58%. Are you kidding me? So you see how this is going to work. When they congeal, they're getting forced, right? So now we know from yesterday's video that there are some laggards. There are some that are, they don't want to, they're pretending like they're moving forward, but they're not. Did you see yesterday's video? They called them out on it. That was huge. That information in yesterday's video was insanely huge and important. So they're going to get forced. They're forcing them now. That's why you have this type of stuff coming out here now. 0.45%, 0.58%. This is why once Ripple is in the clear, why would they not be able to run wild in the US? They're going to save them, Ripple, companies like Ripple or Stellar or Algorand, just as an example. There's others as well. But they have the opportunity to save the banking industry, right? At least this is how it would appear on the surface. They're going to need it. So now let's get back to this article, because listen, these people have been telling a lot of information lately. There's more. That wasn't it. There's more. Let's keep going. Those could include what's known as cash flow underwriting, stronger fraud protection. We don't really care about that. The fraud protections are pretty good. We just have to, I think right now, the biggest thing is protect the people from the people inside the banks taking people's money just sitting there. That's been happening a lot. But wait, I want to get to this part here. CFPB director Rohit Chopra said the rules, quote, will give people more power to get better rates. That's not the good part. Wait, it's coming. And service on bank accounts, credit cards, and more, unquote. That means, now this is where you want to hear this and you want to let other people know that's around you. That means customers can fire fintechs and banks. Well, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. First of all, they do a lot of talking about fintechs over the last short while, but who's going to fire the fintechs and they're giving them delicious yield? I mean, it's so easy to earn yield. You look at something even simple like Songbird or Flare, Solana, staking is delicious almost at all times. So people are not going to be firing fintechs. We know that for a fact, but they put them out there first. But what did they say after that? See, that's a cover up. Sometimes people do that. They say something first and then they follow it by what's really important to sort of cover it up a little bit. Fire fintechs and banks. Wait a minute. They're telling. Wait a minute. Who's already been losing a massive amount of people? Banks. They even have a phrase for it. It's called deposit flight. Who's been experiencing a massive amount of deposit flight to this day? Banks. Who's in competition with the other NBFIs? It's not the fintechs. The fintechs are doing fine. They're doing okay. They're building step by step. The legacy system NBFIs are doing well with their money market funds, etc., cash sweep accounts. They're doing fine. Who's been having a problem competing? Banks. Who's been talking about the non-banking financial institutions constantly? We've been covering it here, especially in the members only section. Banks. So when they say fire banks, oh, they're letting off shots. You see, there's an internal battle. We've been covering it. There's an internal battle here. But like I said, did you see? I think it was yesterday's video. Did you see yesterday's video? Look at how they're pressing them. This is a clear press. Those powers are tired of waiting on the laggards, the slow movers. They're tired of waiting on of the legacy system. They're tired of waiting on them. They want crypto to explode. They want blockchain to explode just as much as we do. All right. They believe they're going to benefit more, but that's, they're delusional in that way. They don't understand how deep we're in here. But look at that. So wait, fire fintechs and banks that provide lousy service. Okay, wait, what's the annual percentage yield on Solana right now? Is it like, it's from 5 to 7%, right? I think it's like 7%, something like that. I don't know. My apologies, folks, but I know it's up there. It's way higher than 0.58%, 0.58%, way higher than that, right? So if that's the average, most banks are providing lousy services. I'm just giving you one example. There's a myriad of ways that banks are giving lousy service. So what are they trying to say here? Are they trying to say that the people should fire all the banks? That would destroy the banks. So they're giving the people the opportunity to fire the banks easier. But they're saying, but they're incentivizing the banks. They think this is very, very strange. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's very strange. So they're whooping the banks to incentivize the banks to do better. What? What do you call that? Oh my goodness, it's getting hot right now, folks. So now we're going to get on to this next chapter. And I'm telling you right now, when people behave this way, when they say things like this, you better pay attention. Ripple CEO says he was debanked due to his crypto ties. Ooh, so he feels, this is what I'm talking about. He feels like the banks betrayed him. They stabbed him in the back. The banks are the enemy. He wants to take that bank money. He wants to dominate. I wouldn't be surprised as soon as I read this, I said to myself, this makes a lot of sense. This ties a lot of things together for me. I didn't know he was debanked. I didn't know that. So now the XRP tattoo, how hard he's going into paying for XRP. He wants revenge or vengeance, whichever you prefer. I think he wants vengeance. I don't put it past him that when the Ripple case is over, for them to go absolutely berserk and making a lot of deals and taking a lot of business away from these banks, dominating the banks, bringing the banks to their knees. They got to grovel and crawl to Ripple, to survive, because they will. We have the technology. We do. Facts. They debanked that man, who soon may be in a great, powerful position. You want to be careful when you do things like that. I'm telling you. Watch this. This is motive. This is incentive. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has shared his personal encounters with U.S. banks. You think he's not? Noting a pattern of skepticism due to his involvement with cryptocurrencies. They thought that, always be careful when you go against an enemy. You wound him and you let him get away. He may come back. I'm telling you. And they made that mistake. They thought that they could take over crypto. They didn't. They couldn't. They thought that they were going to little boy, or what do they call that? When a big elder or a larger person, intimidates everybody. So a lot of the people, they just give everything to that person so that they don't have a problem. They thought that's what they were going to do to crypto. And the utility coin companies, they sort of placated them a little bit. They went, here, take some of this technology here. We want to get in your good graces. Not telling them they didn't give them the golden key. They left out a lot. They left out the key parts that you would need to be dominant. So now the banks have a taste. They got a taste. But if you want the full meal, you have to come to Ripple. You have to come to Stellar. You have to come to Algorand, Quant, Flare, Solana, Chainlink. See? They were outsmarted. But wait, let's keep going. It says, in a virtual interview with Bloomberg of DC FinTech Week, he noted that he and other individuals, there's a squad, strongly affiliated with the crypto industry, have faced discriminatory treatment from banks. Oh, they're going to dominate these banks. The banks need them now. The banks haven't caught up. They're falling behind. There's a growing divide between banks, the higher banks and the lower banks. We saw that recently, didn't we? Ooh, you see, did you watch those members only videos going back? You saw who the big timer was that said a certain thing, that if they do that, it would be like dropping a boom, boom on the industry. You said, remember years ago, the commercial banks brought that up as a concern. Remember that? Oh, it's getting hot right now, folks. Some people believe in karma. Karma, those energies come back to you. They say energy is neither created nor destroyed. Let's keep going. Wait, he's telling. You think he's saying this for no reason? He noted that he and other individuals strongly affiliated with crypto industry have faced discriminatory treatment from banks while pursuing their personal businesses. Notably, he stated that financial institutions had debanked him several times, kicked him out, got rid of him. He can't use their services due to his crypto ties. You think that doesn't fire him up to make crypto dominant, to take vengeance, to show them that he is, I don't know how to phrase this. I don't like saying that when I'm talking about other people, but you want to show people like I'm the one, like I'm great. I belong here. I earned my keep here. You had no right to do this. You want to show them that sometimes, I'm not so eloquent in saying that, but you get what I'm saying. The Ripple CEO revealed that his recent debanking scenario, happened with one of the largest American banks, Citigroup. Oh, he named names. Citigroup, Garlinghouse noted that the leading financial institution told him to move his funds elsewhere after 25 years of banking with them. Watch what happened. I'm telling you now, they have pissed him off. He's been shaking. Listen, they've been taking a lot of meetings at Ripple. There's 11,000 banks. Actually, it's a little bit more than that, but I'm going to take the SWIFT number. 11,000 banks on the table. SWIFT is going to need true global interoperability. It doesn't matter who they can deal with right now. They're all siloed. Even Enbridge is siloed. They're going to need someone with true interoperability. Man, next year could get very interesting, folks. It's heating up. Now, this makes me more bullish. I'm not saying it should make you bullish. This makes me bullish. So make that clear. Sometimes people feel like if you say something, they need to believe like you believe, or you want them to believe like you believe. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not. It makes me more bullish because I'm saying to myself, he's fully incentivized to push XRP more, to make them pay, to make them, regret what they did, to push Ripple products more, which rely on XRP heavily. It's the best thing that they have. He's fully incentivized to go berserk with XRP. But wait, let's move on here. I don't want to spend too much time on that now. All right, now look. I have two articles. Are they both about Swift? Oh no, a Swift alternative. My apologies. So now, and don't worry, I got that members only video coming probably tomorrow. I have to respond to one of our esteemed members asked me a question. Just give me a little bit of time. Today was an insane day, and I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be like that. You know, hopefully you all are having a smoother week than I am. So now in this next article, HSBC joins a Swift alternative. I mean, every time we turn around, there's somebody major participating in a Swift alternative. But wait. Well, first of all, this tells me how the Swift's power is waning, lessening, just like we anticipated, just like I thought. They don't have true global reach. They can't. There's too much fragmentation and lines are being drawn in the sand. Everybody's looking at the opportunity for a power grab. And right now, what the West is doing, the US in particular, is not enough to maintain that powerful position. So now with HSBC utilizing that particular Swift alternative, then theoretically it's going to open up more possibilities for the renminbi, the yuan, to be used by more people. Which then, if that is the case, then how does that affect the US dollar? Right? I mean, because there's give and take, there's contraction and expansion when these particular things happen, right? So I mean, there's so many things going on right now. So how does that affect the US dollar? Then also de-dollarization. That's what I was trying to remember. Remember, BRICS Nation is pushing for heavy de-dollarization. And yes, I did hear about one member of the BRICS Nation. I don't remember it being a major member. I'm not sure who it was, or else I would remember. If it was China, Russia, or India, something like that, I would remember, but it wasn't. But one, either member or affiliate, was saying how they wanted to continue the utilization of the US dollar. Okay, that's cool. But do I think the rest of them are going to go for that? Absolutely not. Now, what's probably going to happen is that they'll take that US dollar. First of all, everything's going to be digitized. They'll take that digital dollar. That's what's going to be in the future. That's just how it's going to be. And when they run it through the system, it will be converted. Like, the only time it's going to be the US dollar is if it's in the US or the West, or in that particular country that wants to continue using the US dollar. It will be converted digitally before it lands anywhere else. It'll be converted into whatever currency they want it to be received in. Right. So, I mean, that sort of nullifies that whole idea of I want to stick with the dollar. Like, the old ways are all but done, really. So, I mean, this sort of aids BRICS if they're going to be serious. And like I said, I need to see more. Sure, they've taken some steps as of recent. If those articles are accurate, they've taken some steps. But we're going to see. And I'll tell you what's the real major thing that they've done, in my humble opinion, is how much gold they gobbled up. So I think according to the numbers the other day, you tell me if I'm getting this correct. According to the numbers we saw the other day, is it accurate to say BRICS nations, they said, has over 20% of the gold? 20%? And they will probably have more if China didn't take off that 1 or 2 month break from buying gold, but they jumped right back in. In other member nations, they've sold some, bought some back. There's that give or take there. But we will see how all this affects things. But the SWIFT system, the Western systems, the Western financial systems, they are in a bit of a tight spot. I'll just say that. It's not over for them. Nothing's going to zero. I don't think that. But I think of their own actions, they're greatly devaluing not only their currencies, right? Watering them down. Not only that, I mean, they're overburdened with debt. We went over what that means, right? We'll see how this all plays out. But they'll be greatly diminished. That's what I wanted to get to. So now, I talked a little bit about that. I want to get to the Bitcoin news. Let me get to the Bitcoin news before the video gets too long. My apologies. So now, just when I think about things like that, it just gives me so many thoughts. So now, Bitcoin price aims for $68,000 as U.S. unemployment beat ups Fed rate cut odds. So Bitcoin sales higher. My apology, I'll pop up on my screen. Bitcoin sales higher on U.S. jobless claims, with BTC price dip to $65,000 swiftly being left behind. But wait a minute, talk about what was happening. They can't say this and then leave out the details. We covered it. There was some website, they did the research and they saw who was buying up the dips. That's important. It was the big companies. BlackRock was one of them. I believe it was BlackRock. Right? Yeah, I think it was BlackRock. BlackRock was buying up the dips. That's important to know. If they're buying up the dips, it's safe to say a lot of other big ones were probably also buying up the dips as well. But let's keep going. Data from Cointelegraph, Markets Pro, and TradingView revealed 1.5% Bitcoin price gains on the day. A firm rebound from 10-day lows of $65,000 continued as jobless claims came in below expectations for a second consecutive week at $227,000 versus $227,000, not dollars, my apologies. $227,000 versus $241,000 on October the 17th. My apologies for that misspeak. Bets that the Federal Reserve would cut interest rates again at its November 7th meeting increased modestly at a result of 92.9% per data from CME Group's Fed Watch tool. The Fed is under a lot of pressure, though. I will say that a lot of these big financial organizations, I know you read the articles, I know. I'm a little preaching to the choir, just a little bit, but they're trying to press the Fed to slow down. My word. Oh, my goodness. These companies are insane. They're trying to press the Fed, but as you see, the regular people believe that cut is coming, so we shall see what happens. Bitcoin price action thus approached a cloud of resistance liquidity around $68,000 order book. Coverage from monitoring resource CoinGlass showed. When I read that information the other day, I got to tell you, honestly, it made me a little bit more bullish on Bitcoin. I think looking at the activity of how much outright buying and proxy buying, because remember, they also were tracking these large purchases, which were like anonymous. And I haven't seen an update on that lately. Isn't that interesting? I mean, I can't read every article. Of course, maybe they did do an update on that. But these people seem to want Bitcoin very bad at these prices, which would indicate what? That would mean to someone like me that if they buy, let's say they buy Bitcoin at 65,000, you think they bought Bitcoin at 65,000 just to make 68,000, 70,000, 75? No, absolutely not. They're here to make the big money. 100%. They're expecting Bitcoin to cross the $100,000 mark. In my humble opinion, not financial advice, my humble opinion. They wanted to go 120, 150. And once again, they didn't even make the big push yet. You don't see the media going nuts over Bitcoin just yet. No, but it's still bubbling. That's interesting. That makes me more bullish. It's bubbling without the big media push. All right. So now let's go cover just a little bit of gold here. A little bit of gold. Now, I'm not sure how long the video is today. I've had to break it up into pieces. This day has been absolutely insane. So each part has been filmed at a different point. Gold price up on friendly outside markets. BRICS de-dollarization. Why would BRICS? Well, let's see here. Gold and silver prices are solidly higher in early U.S. trading Thursday, benefiting from bullish daily outside market elements that include a weaker U.S. dollar index, firmer crude oil prices, and a dip in U.S. Treasury yields. Safe haven demand remains a major underlying supportive factor for the precious metals and is keeping a solid floor under prices. December gold was last up $23.20 at $2,752.70. That's beautiful. And December silver was up 0.43 or 43 cents, my apologies, at $34.27. Also, listen, silver so suppressed. It is. Wait until they unleash silver. At least I believe one day it will be. At the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russian president, I'm not going to say a whole lot of names on this channel. I'm not trying to jeopardize the channel, but that president introduced a new international payments framework aimed at reducing reliance on the U.S. dollar, which he accused of being used as, you know how they're using the U.S. dollar as such. Is that what they're saying? I don't think that is enough to make everyone bullish on gold and silver. Now, when the experts came out, like I had that one video, it was titled something like, oh, maybe I didn't title it that, but it had an article in there about experts speaking on what they thought would happen with the BRICS payment system. And one of those experts was saying that they believe it was going to be backed by gold. Now, that could be bullish. Okay, if you're saying that, yeah, sure. But their current activity, no, I don't see that as bullish in my humble opinion. They're supposed to do that. We all anticipated them doing that. But if they actually back it by gold, now that's bullish. All right. So, all right. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.